So I decided, and I swear as I'm standing here, folks, this is a gospel truth, I decided I'm going to be invisible for the next 6 weeks. Think about that. There was only 109 people in the room. In fact, about 2/3 of what this number is here. 109 people, and I thought I could be invisible for 6 weeks. Just keep a low profile, don't say anything, keep my head down, don't make eye contact. You know, we learn these things. I swear as I'm standing here, on the opening night, January 2nd, 1980, the first assemblage of this group, I'm sitting on that back row, right where I'm pointing at that young man all the way to the back, because I think that's the most invisible place I can be in the entire room. And I'm sitting there, and I got my head down. I'm not making conversation with anybody to my right or left, which is totally outside of my character. But that's how it was, because I decided that. Then all of a sudden, there was a door up here in the back of the room that opened. And in he walked. He walked to the left. He looked, he stopped. He turned around and walked back to the right, looking at every person, making eye contact with every person in the room. Then he stopped. Then he found the center point. And he crossed his arms, and that massive chest spilled out of that jacket. It was none other than Harry Wendelstedt himself. How many people, by the way, know that name, Harry Wendelstedt? Yeah, there are people. Not a lot, but there are some. For those of you who don't know the name of Harry Wendelstedt umpired baseball, Major League Baseball, for 33 seasons, the senior most umpire until Bruce Fleming surpassed him a year or two ago. He just passed away, as a matter of fact, last year, Harry Wendelstedt, that is. And he was my hero. And when he walked in, I kind of forgot about being invisible. I still wanted to be invisible, but I kind of forgot about it because my vision focused on Harry Wendelstedt. And when he stopped, and when he crossed those arms, and when he started speaking, I will never forget what he said that evening. He said, "You can be a Major League umpire if you want it badly enough." Now, I know those words aren't magical. I understand that. But for me, they had an impact. Because remember, I'd been hearing nothing but negatives for the last several weeks and months leading up to this. You can't do it for this reason or that. This is the first person who had said they could, and guess what? He had been there. He knew what it takes to be a Major League umpire. All these other people that were telling me I couldn't do it didn't have any clue because they'd never done it. But he said, "You can do it." And I started to perk up a little bit. But then he added something. He said, "But you can't do it the way you are right now. You've got to change. You've got to change your attitude. You've got to change your outlook. And frankly, you even got to change the way you look." You know, that's not terribly hard when you come to think about it, changing your looks. It's really not. In fact, I think I can show you very quickly how easy it is. Look here. What if I just did this? What, a little bit different? Not enough yet? What about this? Whoops. As an umpire, I don't need these. What about if I assume the position now? I'm going to ask you a question. I'd ask you, everyone in this room, to answer this question out loud, if you will. Do I look like what you would imagine a Major League umpire or professional umpire ought to look like, yes or no? Okay? Second question. Does that mean I can umpire? Uh-oh. You mean I can make the look, I can wear the uniform, but that doesn't mean I can actually do the job? You know, I'm not talking about umpiring anymore now. There's a lot of people that can put on the uniform of a supervisor, the uniform of a manager, uniform of a utility worker, a lineman, a meter reader, or whatever it is that you can do. You can put on the uniform. We all have it. And we can look the part, but that doesn't mean we can do anything, or at least do anything that makes a difference. Yeah, I was wearing the uniform, but I had a long way to go. But guess what? I was there for 6 weeks. 6 weeks. 6 weeks, and I was there specifically to learn to be an umpire. And guess what? I did. I did learn to be an umpire. But what's more important than that is I learned to make decisions. Specifically, I learned a process for decision making that has served me for 33 years. I don't know what the decision will be, but you will make a decision. Will I? Won't I? Will I focus on what I should do? Will I continue to do what I want to do? It's a decision. Now remember, I said I'm not going to spend very much time with the first two. That's it. I'm not going to talk about rules and tools anymore. That's it. You all decide for yourself what that means to you. But I am going to focus on the next two bases for success because I do believe they matter. This third base for success is you've got to position yourself effectively. You've got to have the tools, you've got to know the rules, but you also have to position yourself effectively. I personally have known dozens of Major League umpires. I actually know 12 that are working in the major leagues today. If I went to them, my friends, and I said to them, all right, me and you talking, y'all ever make any mistakes? They go, are you kidding me, Phil? Of course we make mistakes. I can remember one in Oakland. I can remember one in Chicago. I remember one at Yankee Stadium. I remember a tough one in the World Series, whatever it may be. They'll tell you that they make mistakes. And then I ask them this question, why did you make the mistake? And guess what? They never say because of rules or tools. I guarantee you every Major League umpire working in baseball today, they know the rules. They know that rule book inside and out. That is memorized. It's etched in their being. And they have the tools necessary to be successful. It's never a problem of rules or tools. They'll tell you, I got caught out of position. Phil, I got caught out of position. Now, if I really press, I say, why? Why did you get caught out of position? They'll tell me one of three things. All right? I'll tell you what they are, because they apply to you. Number one, they'll say, I wasn't as prepared as I should have been. I should have anticipated what was going to happen. I should have thought the second and third and fourth step down the road, instead of just looking right now where I am at this moment. I wasn't prepared for it to happen. Or number two, I wasn't giving maximum effort. In other words, I wasn't hustling. I was doing just enough to get by. I had a headache that day, or I was a little tired that day, or I was hungover that day, and so I would just kind of cruise that day. But because of that, they got caught out of position. The third reason they'll tell you that they get caught out of position is not just preparedness, not just hustle, but the third one is what I call something squirrely happened. In the game of baseball, you'll hear people say, the ball took a bad what? Bounce or hop. Right. Well, it happens. Life sometimes will throw you a bad hop. You can't anticipate everything that will happen in the moment. But here's the reality. If you're not prepared and if you're not hustling, when that squirrely thing happens, the wheels come off. That's when everybody goes crazy. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do now? And they're running around crazy. But if you're prepared and if you're hustling already, when the squirrely thing happens, you go, that's squirrely, but we can handle that. That's no problem. We'll take care of it. It's all a part of the decision making.